Now there's a threat indeed. The whole of the United States Navy. Well, Arsenio Dominguez is the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization. That'd scare you, wouldn't it? The whole of the Navy's about to... I mean, this blockade is real. Maybe a few ships are getting in and out, but you could always be found somewhere else in the world.
That's correct. The situation has not really improved since the beginning of this conflict. And the 20,000 seafarers and nearly 2,000 vessels are still trapped in the Persian Gulf. And that's what I continue to reiterate my message, that until there is a true de-escalation, we are sure that the Strait of Hormuz is free from any hazards, including mines. It is not safe for any ship to transit in any direction in the Strait of Hormuz.
Right, but in your view, and I'm aware, as a UN body, you're sort of neutral, but is the blockade working, the US blockade, and is it in any sense assisting the resolution?
Not much has changed, because if we looked at the 130 vessels on average that were transiting every day on the Strait of Hormuz to the numbers that we have right now, we see that the strait is actually not open for transit in respect to the freedom of navigation.
Right, but it really depends whose blockade you want to get hit by, doesn't it? Do you want to be hit by the Iranians? Do you want to be hit by a mine? Or do you want to have to run the risk of pissing off the Americans? I mean, it's a mess.
It is complicated. We don't want any contact of ships with the mines. Now, when it comes to blockading a strait, if I go back to international law, the reality is not a single country has the right to blockade a strait for international navigation. And that is the reason why since 1968, as you showed in your graphic, there is an area, a corridor that has been established by IMO, and since then has been in operation between Iran and Oman, and that's what we need to go back to.
Let's talk about the seafarers. 20,000, you say,
yes,
stuck on those ships. Now, I imagine some of those ships are running. I suppose they could be supplied with food and water on humanitarian grounds. So that might not be the biggest issue in a sense, but they are away from home. They've no idea how and when. I assume some of them are getting paid, some of them are not. It's not the right thing to do for them.
It's terrible. It is the mental health, it's the fatigue that these innocent seafarers are actually going through. We're trying to encourage the younger generation to actually join the seafaring community. This is not really helping us. We are very grateful to the countries in the region because they continue to provide the essential supplies, even with the challenges that exist. But the longer that this conflict goes on, the more that becomes a crisis.
And by and large, this is a generalization, by and large, are the owners of the ships behaving properly, ensuring the seafarers are going to get paid, ensuring proper humanitarian necessities for them, families being kept informed? To your knowledge, are they being responsible?
The answer is yes. There's a lot of cooperation in relation to the non-governmental organizations that represent the different sectors of shipping, as well as those that represent the seafarers. And the flag states and the countries of the nationalities of the seafarers have been very active in providing all this support.
So now let's talk about, assuming it's all over tomorrow, you've got 2,000 ships that have to get out. And that's before you can start getting more ships back in to refuel. It's estimated we've maybe got 5 to 8 weeks worth of fuel in some countries. Aviation fuel's going to run out arguably within 2 months to 3 months. Is that your understanding?
It is. And we only have to look back at when the Suez Canal was actually blocked for 5 days, how many months, how many weeks, and many months actually took us to go back to normal in the shipping operations around the world. Because this is not only in the region, it's all the contracts and the logistics around the different ports. So the reality is that we will still have to focus first on evacuating those 20,000 innocent seafarers, and then step by step start to bringing back the trade in the way that we used to.
From you have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of this, so I'm gonna mine it for all I can, if I may, sir. The ships that left the Straits of Hormuz just as the war began, they have now reached their destinations, either in Asia, obviously, certainly Europe, and arguably the United States. And that's it. There's no more replenishment of stocks after that.
No, for those ships, if you're actually going to look at the contracts that they have, if the route was to go back to the Strait of Hormuz, shipping can alter the way that it operates. And just like,
but there's no stuff coming out to fill refineries, to fill the gaps that now are building up.
Precisely, and that's the biggest concern now, because we are resilient and we can actually find new ways to operate, new routes to operate, like we did with the Red Sea.
Sure.
The reality is that still the 20% of oil, 19% of gas, 13% of fertilizers, 9% of automobiles still stuck there that they cannot be transported by ship and is still affecting everybody else around the world.
I'm grateful, sir. Thank you for coming in and talking to us very kindly.
Thank you.